Hello everybody, welcome to the show 5 Minute Success Strategies. I am Dr. Avinash here and I share actionable insights and strategies for personal growth around 4 pillars of life, that is health, career, relationship and spiritual well-being. Keep listening and stay motivated. Welcome to Relationship Week number 2, episode number 12 on your favorite podcast 5 Minute Success Strategies. Today's episode is on 5 love languages. Which one do you speak? According to Gary Chapman, author of the book The 5 Love Languages, there are 2 kinds of love which we experience. The first kind is falling in love. That in love experience usually happens when we meet the other person for the first few times. That butterflies in the stomach feeling, we want to meet that person again and again. We keep thinking about those moments day and night, and we eagerly wait for those moments to be repeated. We are emotionally obsessed about the other person and we do everything to impress them. This feeling is called falling in love. Unfortunately, social scientists have discovered that in-love experience has an average lifespan of 2 years. That is a little longer or shorter than 2 years, this love is gonna evaporate just like dust. The second kind of love, which is real love, is the mature one we get after marrying that person or while being in a long-term live-in relationship. This love doesn't come overnight and also it doesn't come by instinct. It grows out of reason and choice. This kind of love requires effort and discipline, which unfortunately doesn't happen most of the times. That is why there are so many failed marriages, either ending in divorces or the couple live unhappily together, repenting about their choices throughout their life. If you know someone who is unhappy in a marriage or had a failed marriage, then maybe, according to Gary Chapman, the reason is they are not speaking the same love language. Gary Chapman says there are 5 love languages that exist, and every one of us to a certain extent like to receive all those 5 languages, but we speak only one primary language. It's like your native tongue. You always like if someone speaks to you in your native tongue rather than having a conversation in foreign language, right? We tend to love the person who speaks the same language to us. So what are those 5 love languages? Listen till the end to find out which one do you speak and which one your partner does. The first one is words of affirmation. These are verbal compliments that you give to your partner. It might be as simple as "you look beautiful today" or like "the dress suits you well" or "I really like the way you treat X or Y." You can always use some encouraging words, kind words, humble words, or even say simply "I love you" at least once a day. If you are someone who likes to receive appreciation for what you have done, if you had a longing for those kind words from parents while growing up, or if you felt so great when you received appreciation from a teacher in your classroom, or if you felt so ecstatic when you receive a text message from your spouse saying "I'm proud of you" or "I love you," that means your primary love language is words of affirmation. The second love language is quality time. Quality time is those moments when your TV and phone is off and you talk to each other with undivided attention. It's going to a restaurant but not looking at your phones, just looking at each other and having a meaningful conversation. It's spending time with children, playing games with them and having undivided attention towards them. It's going for a walk and just talking while you walk. Times like these, when you feel loved and cared for, maintaining eye contact and trying to look for the feelings and emotions of your spouse during such moments is a good thing to do. This is quality time. If you find it meaningful when you are around your spouse, even if you are not doing anything, or if you long to be with them every day, when you don't like to be interrupted while talking about your feelings to them, if you really like to spend time doing a shared activity or a hobby like reading a book or doing a sport with them, then maybe your primary love language is quality time. The third love language is acts of service. Acts of service include actions such as cooking a meal, cleaning the house, changing the baby's diaper, taking care of children's needs, paying the bills on time, etc. Any such action which requires planning, time, effort, and energy, and if done with a positive spirit, is an expression of love. Or if you have more money than time, you can hire someone to do all these household chores like having a cook, having someone to clean the house, or a gardener to maintain the garden. This also is an act of love. If you love the day when your partner takes care of all the small chores around the house, if you do something for your partner when you don't particularly enjoy it, if your partner likes to help you with the things like cleaning the house and taking care of the garbage, if you feel loved during all those moments, then the primary love language of you is acts of service. The fourth love language is receiving gifts. A gift is a reminder of love. It reminds you of the person and the time when you felt loved by one another. A gift is something to hold on in your hand and say, "Look, he was thinking about me," or "she remembered me." Universally, in all cultures, gift giving is considered as an act of love. Gary Chapman goes on to say that the cost of the gift doesn't matter, it is the effort behind getting it or making it that matters. It might even be a simple flower or a greeting card. A good thing to do would be to have a gift idea notebook, like whenever your spouse says, "I like this thing" or "I like to have one of those," jot that down in the notebook and try to get that when an occasion arises. If you are a fan of gifts and you get disappointed when there is no gift on special days, or if you get excited when you get a small gift unexpectedly from your spouse, or if you take so much pain and effort in choosing a perfect gift for your partner, then most probably the primary love language of you is receiving gifts. Love language number 5 is physical touch. Physical touch comes in various forms limited only to your imagination. It can be sexual and explicit, and then there are a few implicit non-sexual kind of ways like holding hands, rubbing your partner's back, a gentle tap on the shoulders, or a simple hug or kiss while leaving home, etc. If you find out your partner's primary love language is touch, then you must find new and exciting ways to do that. Men usually think their primary love language is physical touch, but it is not so. Few men have it and few women have it as their primary love language, but it depends on the way they were brought up and the childhood experiences around touching each other. If you were born in a family where you received frequent hugs and kisses for every achievement from your parents or relatives, then you tend to have physical touch as your primary love language. It works in the other way also. If a child is not touched frequently by his or her parents while growing up, he or she might be longing for those physical touch while growing up, and after growing up, that person's primary love language tends to be physical touch. So if you discover physical touch is your primary love language, then you need to communicate that with your partner so that he or she understands it and speaks to you in the same language. Okay guys, I think you have a fair idea on what is love language, what are the 5 different primary love languages and which one do you speak, and also think about which one does your partner speaks. Try to speak the same love language and your love life can always be better. For more details and for questioners to find out which language do you speak, you can always read the book 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman or even listen to an audiobook. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'm so grateful to join you on this journey of personal growth. Until next time, this is Dr. Avinash and you are listening to 5-Minute Success Strategies.